Coming up on this edition of MHS Rewind, we'll take a look back at the Hall of Fame career of Martinsville football coaching legend Bill Siderewicz, who passed away earlier this month, and the legacy he leaves behind.
We'll travel to the University of Indianapolis to give you a look at the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters State Conference.
We'll give you an inside look at the state championship MHS dance team.
And in sports, we'll have previews of all the spring sports teams here at MHS. Good afternoon, MHS. I'm Ezra Pauley.
And I'm Austin Bray. We'll have all those stories for you and much more coming up next on MHS Rewind. On March 7th, Martinsville and the state of Indiana lost one of its legendary football coaches, Bill Ciderwitz. Luke Cheatham takes a look back at the Hall of Fame coach's career and his impact on the Martinsville community.
On Monday, March 13th, Ciderwitz took one last lap on the football field that bears his name. Current football players took a knee in a circle around the 50-yard line, wearing the gold pants and red jerseys his teams were known for. It was a fitting early morning tribute to honor the legacy of a coach who had a huge impact on the Martinsville community.
Before he arrived in the early 70s, Martinsville wasn't known for football or many of its sports during that time. And he galvanized the community. He made people believe. He made young people believe. He created an excitement, a passion, a spirit towards Martinsville athletics that continues on today.
Coach Siderwitz was responsible for Friday Night Lights before there was a Friday Night Lights, before there was a TV show, movie.
He brought football here to Martinsville. He put it on the map. He made Friday night an event. Things we take for granted, like the fireworks and the air horns and all that stuff that's so great. He brought all that. He made Friday night an experience, and the old Hoosiers adage of close down the town, everybody's going to the basketball game, really started to become true for football here. So he put Martinsville football on the map.
Ciderwitz came to Martinsville in 1970 and coached here for 30 years. He led the Artesians to 5 undefeated regular seasons, 11 South Central Conference championships, and 2 trips to the state semifinal. He was inducted in the Indiana Football Hall of Fame in 1993.
He was tremendous because he was an innovator with football schemes.
You have a Mr. Football that's a quarterback and Mr. Football that's a running back. That says quite a bit about what you're willing to do for an offense.
Earl Hannaford won Mr. Football in 1995, and Israel Thompson won the award in 1996. And the coach was quick to credit them for their success.
I said, give the ball to Izzy, and he ran for a touchdown, or I said, give the ball to Earl, and he threw one. So my job was pretty easy.
In the 10 years prior to his arrival at MHS, the Artesians only won 19 games. But that trend changed in a hurry. Siderewicz went 9-1 in his second season, and his teams were undefeated in the regular season in 1974, 1977, 1980, 81, and 82.
I think his toughness is what made him who really was. He was never gonna make an excuse. He was never gonna, he outworked people.
I think Coach Siderwitz was successful just because he was just very self-motivated and a tireless worker. And I just think his drive, I think that first season, we talk about 84-0 Bloomington South, that was a motivator, but he was just driven to win, and he was driven to do well, and he was driven to get the most he could out of each of his teams.
They believed that every time they stepped on the field that it was something special. It was something more than just a football game on Friday night.
That is why it was only fitting for current Artesians to honor Coach Siderewicz and his lasting legacy on this field. Siderewicz was 87 years old, but will live on forever throughout the Martinsville community. For MHS Rewind, I'm Luke Cheatham.
MHS Rewind students attended the annual Indiana Association of School Broadcasters State Conference and Competition the Monday before spring break. And as Loudon McFarland tells us, students had the chance to hear from some industry professionals and even brought home a couple of awards.
Over 700 high school broadcasting students and instructors from around the state traveled to the University of Indianapolis for the 20th annual IASB event. Students attended 2 workshops on a variety of topics ranging from film and video to radio and sports broadcasting. Industry professionals like Colts play-by-play announcer Matt Taylor and Bob and Tom News director Chris Teeley spoke to their students about the experiences in the industry.
Take any job, no matter what, even if it's not something you think you wanted to do, it will somehow lead to the next step. It always does. Never turn down an opportunity to educate yourself. The more you know, the more important you will become to an employer.
Nikki Reed is co-host of the Smiling Morning Show on 99.5 WZPL in Indianapolis. She talked about how social media can help grow your career, but can also sink you.
I think that it's really important that we figure out how best to angle ourselves, even when we're young, for the type of career we want to have, and also avoiding mistakes that we might make. It usually helps to learn those as well.
Students also listened to the IASB alumni panel that featured former MHS Rewind student Samantha Johnson, who is now a multi-skilled journalist at Channel 13 in Indianapolis. And the event wrapped up with the awards ceremony where Rewind captured 3 awards and 1 honorable mention, with Austin Bray winning 2nd place for News Package.
I'm really happy with the award I got. I did put a lot of work into the news package that was submitted, so I'm pretty proud of it.
Chase Malin, Jackson Turner, and Ezra Polly won 1st place for sound design, and Polly is already thinking about next year's event.
I think that we have a pretty good shot at getting more next year, especially now that we know what to expect, since most of our class is juniors. That was our first time there, so now we know what to look for and what to improve upon.
For MHS Rewind, I'm Loudon McFarland.
The dance team captured the state championship this season in AA Jazz and the state runner-up in AA Hip Hop at the IHS DTA State Championships on March 11th. Serenity Fry went to their last practice before the big event to get some insight on this year's team.
It's Friday night and the dance team is in the main gym practicing their 3 different routines: hip-hop, pomps, and jazz.
Hip-hop is more like upbeat and high energy and kind of like street style, so it's a lot of hard hitting and there's tricks in there.
For pom, it's kind of like cheer with the pom-poms, but we do more of a jazz technique with it, so they do like turns, leaps, jumps, other crazy tricks, and then they also do palm motions.
And then jazz is kind of open where it's a bunch of different styles, so you can do contemporary or jazz, but we usually do contemporary, so it tells more of a story and is more like artistic.
Justine Jack is the MHS dance team coach, and she's been dancing since the age of 2. She and her mom opened up J2 Dance Studio when she was a high school senior, but she didn't start coaching at the high school until 2017.
So I'm always trying to, first of all, entertain the audience. So whether it be at a game or a competition, I don't want the dancers going out there just like dancing to music and nobody like feeling anything. So I want the audience to be entertained or intrigued, or even if they're just like, questioning it, thinking about it. I think that's what dance is all about, and I always want to stress to the kids that it's important to make an impact with their dancing and use their platform instead of just going out there doing a bunch of moves.
I like dancing because it's just like a way to express myself, and it's something I genuinely enjoy doing. I like going in the studio, dancing around. It's just a great feeling.
Being on the team, I love friends and the people. I love everybody on the team, and I've gotten like really good bonds with them.
Assistant coach Riley Miles says dancing takes a lot of patience and passion.
So I always stress the kids like how important it is to keep pushing and to be able to manage your stress, especially when we're in conditions like going to state or trying to qualify for competitions.
Coach Jack says she is the most proud of her team's resilience this year because they have a lot of new members and it's the biggest team she's ever had.
It's kind of scary for them. It's been a lot, but they've all risen to the occasion and they've practiced so hard, and just watching them grow throughout the season has been amazing, and their confidence has been skyrocketed, so that's great.
And that confidence led them to a state championship and state runner-up. For MHS Rewind, I'm Serenity Fry.
The Martinsville Academic Decathlon team competed at Greencastle on February 25th and finished first in the state, earning them a spot at the Nationals in late April. Academic Decathlon consists of 10 events over a single topic. This year's topic is the American Revolution. There are tests over art, music, literature, science, social studies, economics, and math. Then you do an essay, speech, and interview in front of judges. The competition wraps up with a super quiz, where teammates take turns solving multiple choice challenges over the topic in front of a live audience.
If you're at all familiar with Academic Super Bowl, it's basically that, but with all of the weird stuff that Decathlon has thrown in.
It's
generally just a bunch of tests, but what makes it fun isn't taking tests, it's the people. Like the other school, Kankakee Valley, that we went with, is like way up in the corner of Indiana. They were like all really great sports, and they would like play songs afterwards.
The Decathlon team will have their biggest challenge yet on April 27th through the 29th when they go to Nationals in Frisco, Texas.
I expect there to be a lot of schools from other states, particularly California and Texas. Academic decathlon is very popular. I expect this to be a very different experience than the ones that the students are used to. For Super Bowl and decathlon, usually we'll see maybe up to 8 schools. But at this competition, there will be a few dozen.
Orchestra competed at their state solo and ensemble competition at the end of February. MHS Rewind went to their class and talked to orchestra students and their teacher about the contest and why they like playing.
Students are participating in different levels of difficulty based upon their level of playing.
Usually Lanigan prepares us like a couple months ahead.
When it's your time to perform, you get called in, the judges get a copy of your music, and you play, and then you wait outside and they give you your score.
This year I did 2 ensembles, a quartet and a solo. So I was in Division 1, which is the hardest division you can play in, which means if you get gold, you get another chance to play your solo at state. I chose to play cello because I liked how low you could get with it, but you could also get really high notes, and it just sounds really pretty to me.
I chose to play viola because I really like the deep, rich sound that it makes.
My mom played piano, and she always used to play it for me when I was little, so I loved it. I like how versatile it is. You can play it with a bunch of different instruments.
I'm just real proud of my kids because they really work together. It doesn't matter what walk of life they are, they're a team and they all support one another.
Attention students traveling to Puerto Rico. The spring flower fundraiser money and forms are due to Mrs. Martin today. Please get those to her in room 235 as soon as possible.
Juniors, please be on the lookout for Plus Senior application packets for next year's program. They should be delivered to you by your Arty period teacher. If you have any questions, please see Mr. Pratt in room 115.
The 2023 MHS Talent Show will be Monday, April 3rd at 7 p.m. in the main auditorium. Admission to the show is $5.
Turn in registration forms for the Dance Marathon Basketball Tournament in the bookstore by the end of the day today.
Sign up for the Dance Marathon event on April 29th from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. in the Fieldhouse. Pre-registration forms are in the bookstore. Once filled out, return the forms to the bookstore or room 111. Some games at the event include a dunk tank, face painting, henna tattoos, and a Nerf guns booth. There will be Gather on Barbecue and Kona Ice. There will also be an eating contest, dodgeball, pickleball, karaoke, and the waxing of Jaden Thacker's legs.
There will be a call-out meeting during Arty period on Friday for any girls interested in playing girls golf next year. The meeting will be held in room 129. If you are unable to make it to the meeting, please stop by and see Coach Dearlove in room 129.
Any boy interested in playing high school soccer in the fall should attend the call-out meeting in Coach Spina's room 219, next Tuesday during Arty period.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
For birthdays today, we have Gavin Andrew, Allison Burnett, Carter Dawson, Peyton Fluke, and Cameron Tucker. Happy birthday, guys. Spring is here and is in full swing, which means boys golf is back on the course. Jackson Turner gives us an inside look.
Golf season is here, and with it comes new expectations for how the season is going to play out.
Overall, I think the team's going to be pretty good. We have a couple new freshmen this year, I think 2. We lost a couple seniors, so I feel pretty good about the team.
Maddox Sparrow is among the 6 returning golfers from last season. Each returning golfer has the intent to build off the last season and improve their game.
My main focus of improvement is to probably get a more consistent drive that will set me up for a better shot and hopefully lower my score.
Coach Bobby Payne has also returned for another season with the same expectations he has every season.
I want to see each of our individual players trying to perform better than they did last year, and in each and every match try to learn a little bit, and hopefully with that comes some of those goals of winning some matches and maybe some tournaments and a conference and maybe getting out of sectional.
The team has high expectations and an optimistic outlook on the season and hopes to dominate the competition. They tee off the season on Saturday, April 1st at the Edinburgh Invitational. For MHS Rewind, I'm Jackson Turner.
The MHS softball team starts off their season tonight at Franklin Central. Jack Reeves gives us the preview.
MHS softball is underway, and this is the final season from some star players on the team. The senior group is looking to pick up where they left off last year.
What I expect from the seniors this year is good leadership to the team and to lead the team to a winning season.
Although the team wants to have another successful season, they need to overcome losing one of their star players last year and Ella Whitney to graduation.
Losing Ella definitely was a big loss for our team, but I think we've got some young talent coming up. We've got, our core group of girls are back.
So Ella Whitney is a great softball player, but this year I think the team has a lot of chemistry and a bunch of talent, so I think we can take on the task of her being gone.
Chloe Huff was right behind Whitney in lots of stats last year. She was second on the team in total hits, batting average, and pitches thrown. Huff will take over as the lead pitcher and is in position to be one of the stars of the team. One issue the team faced last year was a very talented Mooresville team. They went 0-3 against Mooresville, including a playoff loss that ultimately ended their season.
Mooresville is a really talented team, but I think with the chemistry and the ability that we have this year, I think we could get one up on them this year.
I think we have a really good chance to improve on some of the games that were tough for us last year. But I think we're going to be a pretty big hitting team and pretty solid defensively too.
The team has talent and confidence and is looking to make a big run deeper into spring. They kick off their season tonight at Franklin Central. For MHS Rewind, I'm Jack Reeves.
The baseball team also opens their season tonight at Vincennes, and as Ben Selch tells us, this team is loaded with pitching.
The Artesian baseball team is winding up for a big season this year with high expectations and even higher skilled players.
I think we're going to have a tremendous year. I think we've got some really strong leadership at the top with seniors, and I'm really excited to see what happens with these guys.
Head coach Adam Peterson says the strength of this year's team will be pitching. Kevin Reed was named to the Indy Star preseason All-USA Central Indiana Baseball Super Team that features the top 15 players in Central Indiana. Last season, Reed struck out 94 batters in 52 1/3 innings and went 6-3 with a 2.27 ERA.
I just like to work quick, get in the hitter's head, work as fast as I can, and keep them off balance.
Reed throws 90+ miles per hour and has committed to play baseball next year at the University of Evansville. But he isn't the only talented pitcher this season for the Artesians. Others include Alex Cush, Ian Knuckles, and Will Baston, who has big expectations this year after returning from Tommy John surgery.
I like to hit spots really well. I'm not a guy that's going to come in and throw 95, but I can hit spots, I can throw a lot of different pitches, I can make a lot of things move.
Baston will pitch next year at Spalding University in Louisville. The team also expects a contribution on the mound from freshman Reese Wolf, who's already verbally committed to play at Notre Dame. The pitching staff will be put to the test this weekend when the Artesians open up the season at the McDonald's Double Play Tournament at Vincennes. For MHS Rewind, I'm Ben Selch.
Girls tennis is back this season with a couple of new coaches. Jace Malin has the story.
New coaches, Greg and Mimi Boyd, conditioned the girls through drills at one of their recent practices in the field house. The experienced players are excited on how the new coaching will go.
I think that Mimi and Greg are a fantastic addition to our team and that their coaching style is very beneficial to us and their conditioning style as well.
I'm really excited to have Greg Boyd because he's really experienced and he's already helping us with our techniques and everything. So pretty excited.
I think the boys' coaching style is much more fast-paced and much more inclusive. Like everyone gets a chance to do everything. It's not just focusing on one group, like not just the seniors and not just varsity, so everyone can improve.
Coach Boyd has been coaching tennis most of his life. He started coaching middle school tennis 15 years ago and has also coached the high school and a little at the college level. Currently, he's the community tennis director for the USTA Midwest section. Coach Boyd is also excited to be coaching and working with the team.
We have a lot of talent, and there's a lot of, it's. I was telling my wife the other day, it's really odd because there's a lot of similar types of styles out here, and there's a lot of the talent is all grouped up, all the way from number 1 all the way to number 10. So we're going to be a deep team this year. So It'll be a lot of interchanging into doubles matches and singles matches and just trying different lineups and see what works.
Coach Boyd believes that combining having fun while also getting better at practice and working hard is always beneficial.
Progressively, we're getting better every day, and hopefully we'll be peaking when it comes to sectionals, maybe reach out and get a sectional win or two. But we're going to get better every day, and we're going to work hard. We're not going to get outworked.
The season starts April 4th when the team competes against the Mooresville Pioneers. For MHS Rewind, I'm Jace Malin.
Artie's on 3. 1, 2, 3, Artie's! Oh my gosh, that is so much life.
The boys volleyball team competed in their first scrimmage the Tuesday before spring break, having a great outing against Tri-West. Bo Dilley takes a closer look at this year's team.
The boys are back in action, and head coach Hezekiah Karlstrom is excited to have it classified as a school sport this season.
Oh, I think it's incredible. I think there's just a range of opportunities for it, just not only in the college aspect, but it's another recreational thing guys can like to do.
Since boys volleyball is such a new sport to the school, Karlstrom looks to bring in new guys, like senior Jaden Thacker. He's a rookie, and he says he underestimated how difficult it would be to play volleyball.
Definitely the hardest part is, being able to communicate a lot with the teammates, timing on my jumps, jumping in the air, hitting the ball, getting kills. It's, like I said, it's a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Returning senior Luke Cheatham played a big role for the Artesians last season, but earlier this year, he suffered a torn ACL, and he says that he wants to make the most with his final sport here at MHS.
Another reason I decided to come back is injury. I didn't play football season. I played 3 games, so I didn't play a lot of football, didn't play a lot of basketball, and I hope to play a lot of volleyball, so as the last sport.
Karlstrom knows that having some guys returning from last year is going to help out a lot in terms of experience, and he has a lot more confidence due to the fact that most of the guys have a good grasp at the sport now.
Compared to last year, we're going to be at least 2 steps beyond it. We've got guys who can serve, we've got guys who can do serve-receive, we've got some big hitters, and we have 2 guys who are setting really well for us right now, so I really like the function that we have within the team.
The boys have some big obstacles coming up next week. They host Franklin Community in the season opener, and then travel to Columbus East the following night. On Thursday, they play Center Grove in another home game, and to top it all off, a tournament on Saturday in Jeffersonville. For MHS Rewind, I'm Bo Dilley.
The spring track season is well underway, and with it comes lots of new faces and new expectations for the upperclassmen.
It's that time of year again when Ciderwitz field is populated by joggers, sprinters, jumpers, throwers, and more. Only this year, the team is a little different.
We don't really have a ton of upperclassmen. We got a lot of juniors, but we have little to no seniors.
There are no senior boys running track at all this season. There are only 4 senior girls: Jade Johnson, Ainsley Louder, Krishan Capshaw, and Reese Davis.
It's kind of sad because I always looked up to seniors, and now it's just me and a few other girls and no guys. So it's like we're the last ones left, and then we're just the role models for everyone else now.
With the low amounts of upperclassmen, there has been a large influx of sophomores and freshmen who make up the team.
They're kind of getting used to things still, so I think that once everybody kind of gets used to it, all of the warm-ups that we do and everything like that, I think that it'll be fun, especially after we figure out what events everybody's in and everybody can kind of connect over their event, and I think it'll be good.
Because of the lack of seniors, the juniors have been taking it upon themselves to become role models and in some cases, coaches.
A lot of new faces, people who've never thrown before, so I'm kind of taking that leadership role also as partly a coach, but also as a thrower. And throwing, I'm better than I did last year, which is good.
Nate Long is a varsity thrower, and a younger team doesn't discourage him at all from being a formidable opponent in the coming meets. Another big name in the field events is Ben Gaunt, who competes in long jump, high jump, and pole vaulting as well. He also participated in the first indoor track meet of the year at the University of Indianapolis.
We were kind of like the new guys there, and so we hadn't been used to the UND track as much as they had at least. But it was a pretty good meet. It was unscored, so we don't really know how exactly well we did do, but it was a good start.
Boys head coach Luke Mosgrip also thinks that the meet is a good kickoff for the season, with a lot of room for improvement as well.
I like our ability to compete. I think that's just one great characteristic any human being can have, is that competition part. Seeing Nate throw in the shot put, seeing Luke and Elijah compete in the 60 meters, and of course Martin's always out there to compete. He wants to be #1 in the state, and he's got a good chance of that.
Since his career at Martinsville began, Martin Bucko has become quite the track prospect, finishing 5th in state in the 1600-meter dash last year. And this year, his hopes are just as high.
Obviously, we want to get the team to state. I think that's the biggest goal, and just PR and have fun. Having fun's my biggest goal.
Barco and the team's journey to start these goals begins at a tri-meet at Brown County on April 6th.
That's it for this edition of MHS Rewind. For Austin Bray and the rest of the RTV2 class, I'm Ezra Pauly.
Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and always remember to enjoy the ride, and have a great weekend.